Welcome viewers back in eSpectrum online learning platform. Today we will be discussing the next point of prerequisites of electromagnetics, that is scalar product or inner product, or it is also called as dot product. In the first session we have completed the basics of scalars and vectors. If you have not seen the video, I will share the link in the box. Vectors. The different operations performed on the vectors we have covered in the last discussion, basic definition and the vector unit vector representation. In this session, we will cover the basic vector scalar product and the vector product. What are the different rules which are applied for vector operations? Three basic rules are associative, distributive, and commutative laws. What is the associative law? If I want to perform addition of vectors, so the law says add vector b plus vector c and result you add into vector a, or add vector a and vector b and then add the result into vector c. The result you are getting is same. So this law is my associative law. The second law says distributive law. I have a constant scalar quantity k. I want to multiply it to the bracket addition of two vectors, vector a plus vector b plus vector c. So how to read this law? Add the three vectors and then multiply by a scalar will generate the same result as multiplying individual vectors by a scalar k and adding their results. So both are going to generate the same result. The third law is commutative law, that is vector a plus vector b is equal to what? Vector b plus vector a. So order doesn't matter, that is commutative law of addition. Let us see product of two vectors. The scalar product and the vector product. These are the two ways of multiplying the vectors. Let us discuss first the scalar product. Scalar product of two vectors can be constructed by taking component of one vector in the direction of other and multiplying it times the magnitude of the other vector. So what is the definition? Scalar product of two vectors can be constructed by taking component of one vector in the direction of other and multiplying it times the magnitude of the other vector. So let us see into the details. The diagram represents how the dot product is represented. So I have vector A and vector B. The formula says vector A dot vector B is equal to AB cos theta. Now here observe the difference between the representations. Here I have vector representation by alphabet and a arrow, but here I have only alphabet. So it is indicating a bar denotes a vector and a denotes the magnitude of the vector. So if theta is angle between the two vectors, I can write it as vector a dot vector b is magnitude of vector a, magnitude of vector b into cos of theta between the two. So if vectors are expressed in terms of unit vectors I, j, k along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, the scalar product can be expressed in the form as. So if I have vectors represented as vector a and vector b here, so dot product will be equal to ax bx, ay by plus az bz. Now here when I look at the formula is it is AB cos theta. Is it correct? It is AB cos theta. Now We know x-axis and y-axis are perpendicular to each other. So if I draw here, let us say this is my x-axis, similarly this is y-axis, and let us draw the z-axis here. So what I observe is the angle between all the three mutually is 90 degrees. So that is why when I take x dot y, angle is 90 and cos of 90 is 0. That is why only I am getting ax bx, ay by, az bz. So I cross j, angle 90 degrees, so it comes out to be 0. J cross k, angle is 90 degrees, so the term becomes 0. K cross I, angle becomes 90 degrees, so the terms are vanishing. We are not getting those terms. So inner product is also called dot product and also called as my scalar product. Let us see the application of scalar product. Geometrically, the scalar product is useful for finding the direction between the arbitrary vectors in the space. So if I have A dot B, I can calculate AX, BX, AY, BY, AZ, BZ from the magnitudes. I can calculate magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B. So if I divide AX, BX plus AY, BY plus AZ, BZ by AB, I can calculate the cos theta. And from this, if I take the inverse, I will be getting the angle between the two. So here, magnitude of the vectors is represented as under root x square plus ay square plus az square. So I can calculate the cos from it. Now what is the application of this? I have a force applied in the direction of a vector. So how to calculate it? The calculation is I have a force applied in the direction of D. So I want to take the component of vector F in the direction of D. So what I should do is I should drop the perpendicular. And what this component is? This component, if I observe, is adjacent angle of my theta. So adjacent angle of my theta will be equal to what? F cos theta. Will be equal to F cos theta. So here I observe when I resolve one component into the direction of other component, that is in D direction, I am getting a scalar product. So using the scalar product, I can calculate the work done by a constant force in a straight line motion. So in this direction, in the direction of D, you are resolving the vector F. So this is how one application we have discussed of where I can use the scalar product. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please subscribe, click on the like and bell icon for further notifications. Thank you. Thank you so much.